cute puppy. I had no idea there were so many people in the world.
I know what you mean, it's really packed here today.
It feels as though it's taking us 2 hours just to make our way through the crowds to this point.
Has it? I shut my brain down so I don't really notice, to be honest.
Gosh, I do wish I had your absence of mind sometimes, Mr. Naruhodo. There you are. I had a feeling you lot would show your mugs before long.
Oh, oops! Damn! Oh, wait. There you are. I had a feeling you lot would show out your mugs before long.
Oh, Inspector Gregson, I see you're hard at work as usual.
Warm greetings to you. I do hope you've been keeping well since last we met.
What's with all the ceremony? We just saw each other in court this morning.
He means Susato-san. Not you, Sunshine, the gentlewoman so loyally at your side.
Oh. Why, thank you, Inspector. How good of you to notice.
He might be a bit rough around the edges, but he's still a proper English gentleman at heart, I suppose.
As you've probably guessed, we were hoping to investigate the scene some more.
Right, well, that's the young trainee's domain. Oi, get over here, Gina!
She seems to be having fun. Busy playing with a puppy, probably giving it a traditional East End training. Gina? She's a police officer now? Amazing, isn't it?
She's a good kid, actually. Heart in the right place, anyway. She's got a detection bug, if you ask me. Yep, I think she'll follow in my footsteps nicely.
Wow, high praise coming from Gregson. I am surprised. What do you mean?
I'm being transferred. It's time for me to say toodaloo to London.
Oh no, really? That's a bit sudden, isn't it? I had no idea. Is it a demotion? Transferred? Where? Where are you going to be posted then? We'll come to see how you're getting along.
Not likely, but you're welcome to try. If you don't mind a trip to France, that is.
Oh, to France!
I'll be working in the Paris police prefecture. Should be right up my alley.
But France, it's an entirely different country. I don't understand. Why would you be sent there? Do you even speak French?
That's the way the adult work works. Sunshine, now don't go poking your nose in where it's not wanted.
That's just some friendly interest. Come on. Don't be so rude.
I'm intending to take the kid with me when I go.
Gina? What? You're taking Gina to Paris?
Well, can't leave her here in London. Who knows what would become of her?
I suppose he's worried she'd slip back into slipping her hands into people's pockets and purses. I don't think he's worried about her pickpocketing, Mr. Naruhodo. I think he's worried about a Reaper. Did you read my mind? He's worried about a Reaper? Really? Oh, of course. So that's playing on Inspector Gregson's mind too, is it?
Anyway, I haven't mentioned any of this to Gina, so don't go blabbing, you hear me?
No, of course not.
I've got to keep the diving diva safe and sound until all this is over, at least.
Oi, did you just call me a blooming diving diva again? That you heard?
So you heard that, did ya? Right, well, any questions about the scene, you can put them to my capable detective diva here.
Alright, you heard the boss. Inspector Lestrade's in charge here now. I suppose I'd better keep my word and not mention anything about Paris. So, Gina, you've got a new dog, have you? Do you not want to greet like Susato-san? Isn't he great? Toby is his name. It's so cute, it's so cute. Oh, delightful, he's absolutely adorable. Yes, the dog does seem lovely, but it's the not so lovely Inspector Gregson that's playing on my mind, to be honest. What? No reaction at Susato-san? What is wrong with you? Gina, we were actually hoping that we could investigate the scene again. Yeah, right, if it's around here, you can do what you like. Oh, that's alright, is it? I'm gonna be playing with my okay, I'm gonna be playing with me new friend, yeah? Ah, yes, Toby. Ah! The machine that exploded must be at the top of those stairs, I presume? I haven't actually seen it yet, so if you don't mind... Sorry, I can't go up here, Suze. Oh. It's like I told Otto yesterday, even I ain't allowed near that wreck. What's it called again? The reason we ain't supposed to touch it. The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act, is that what you were thinking of? That's the one. That's why only them lot are allowed to investigate it. What are they called again? The Forensic something? The Forensic Investigation Team, is that what you were thinking of? That's the one, yeah. But isn't it the case that the special dispensation has been lifted? I think so. Don't really get it, to be truthful with ya. You're still supposed to get permission from some bigwig or other as far as I know. What was his name again? Lord Strange something. Dr. Strange? I'm not sure that's quite right, Gina. I think you mean Lord Strongheart, perhaps? That's the one, yeah. Apparently he's always watching the time or something. Actually, we've just recently been to see Lord Strongheart. Hey, you what? You've met him? Last time the boss was called to go and see him. He waited for 3 hours at the Cove's office and came back sniffling. Tragic. Well, Lord Strongheart has given us permission to examine the scene, as long as we don't touch nothing. Oh yeah? Honestly? Alright then, go ahead. But if it turns out if you're lying, it'll be the boss who gets it. He'll never eat another chip again in his life. Holy crap! So, you're still saying all this is above board, are ya? I'm sure everything will be fine. That really would be tragic. Alright then, them's the stairs, off you go. Oh, thank you, Gina. Toby the dog. Where did you find that little mutt then, Gina? Oi, don't be so flaming rude, Otto. Slight overreaction, don't you think? He ain't no mutt, alright? Toby's, how did they put it? Oh yeah, a bona fide detective. Bona fide? Sorry? I've given him a proper title and everything. It's Chief Inspector Toby to you. More senior than Inspector Gregson, is he? Oh, so he's a police dog, is he? The police recruit dogs now? Puppies? I've heard that they are already being used officially in Germany as part of their city policing. They're used for chasing criminals and such like. They have a wonderful sense of smell after all. I have a fairly good sense of smell myself, as it happens. I can tell undergarments that have been freshly laundered from undergarments that haven't. What are you talking about? That's nothing compared to this little fella, Otto. Oh really? According to what the boss said. Once Toby here got a good whiff of your drawers, he could chase that scent to the other side of the world. What? To the other side of the world? You mean Japan? Oh, he can swim? Mr. Naruhodo, I think you may have missed the point by rather a wide margin. I just can't believe this little dog has such an incredible skill. I'm telling you, Otto, there's gonna be more and more dogs doing their bit for the police in future. Yes, I agree. Right, one of these days they'll be barking orders at us lot, not the other way around. Oh dear, sorry Gina, I don't think I agree with your vision quite that much. Well, anyway, whatever you think about that, Toby here is Britain's first police dog. I found him down the East End the other day. Someone had just chucked him out on the street. There you go, I knew she'd lifted him from somewhere. Oh Gina, you're such a kind-hearted soul, aren't you? To children and to animals. It was great, wasn't I? I had a right laugh. It was a new one on me that... You know, being in court and not spending the whole time worrying I'm about to be found out. You did keep an awful lot of secrets in all your previous court appearances, didn't you? Yeah, and Otto's made things hard for me every single time and all. Well, you can't possibly blame me. Just doing my job, Gina. But watching someone else get it in the neck is a lot of fun, actually. It was amazing when you showed that dodgy professor's dodgy experiment was a total fix. The dodgy professor, as you put it, Gina, is Mr. Naruhodo's client. Yes, I'm starting to wish he wasn't, though. It's the boss I feel sorry for, sent off to do the impossible. What do you mean? He's supposed to arrest that other cove, ain't he? And in time for tomorrow and all. You know, the dodgy engineer, what's his name again? Mr. Drebber, you mean? Enoch Drebber. That's the one, yeah. So the police are looking for this mysterious man with the black monocle. I guessed they would be. It's putting too much on the boss if you ask me. He says it's giving him a gut ache. I think it's the chips that he eats. Oh dear, but I do wonder if that isn't actually from all the fried food. Yeah. So you don't know where the engineer is. So Scotland Yard are trying to track down Mr. Enoch Drebber. I wonder if they've had any luck. He's really funny looking, got two eyes what don't match. Stole a glimpse of a picture of him earlier. I mean, I didn't actually pinch it or nothing. The old devil's got it. Sorry, who? You know, that scouting reaper was always glugging down glasses of that blood-red plunk. Ah, Lord Van Zeeks. He's always had it in for me, that cove. Dunno what he's always scowling about, mind. Probably would have been a pretty good boss as it goes. She'd rather be the Reaper's apprentice than a detective's trainee. The way I see it, if the choice is between a chip-guzzling detective and a chalice-glugging demigod, you're equally badly off with both. I suppose you're right. I hadn't thought of it like that. Glad we've put that one to bed. Anyway, the point is, everyone at the yard's dead set on finding the fishy engineer, but there don't seem to be no clues to go on, so they're stuck. There's nothing that can lead us to Drebber at all. Well, that's bad. Hey, nice meeting you. We're just gonna go upstairs now. Didn't we investigate this already? Here's the scorching on the ground that you mentioned. Yes, and there's what's left of the green balloon's envelope. All clear evidence of the balloon that exploded on the day of the incident. Poor Professor Hairbrain. I do feel sorry for him that his dreams have been shattered like this. Someone's well and truly burst his bubble, as it were. Ouch, I'm a bad person. Bruno, you got enough self-reflection, so it's fine. Do I want to investigate everything again? Ah, the Crystal Tower. I can't believe I'm seeing it at such close proximity with my own eyes. You've really been looking forward to the great exhibition, haven't you, Mr. Sato? Oh yes, when I found out that I had to return to Japan, I'm afraid I cursed my luck. But here you are, back in London, gazing up at a magnificent tower. I know. Perhaps I was wrong to curse my luck so harshly. Let's go up. The stage up there is where the experiment was set up. It's very high, isn't it? About 30 feet, I believe, or 9 meters if you prefer. Craning your neck to see up to the stars to hurt after a while, doesn't it? Yes, we need to get up there and look around properly. Although if I'm honest, climbing all those stairs makes my chest hurt. Oh dear, I think perhaps you should exercise more, Mr. Naruhodo. These stairs lead up to the experimentation stage. Let's go and see what we can find out. Oh my, so this is the machine that was used to deceive people into thinking instantaneous kinesis had taken place? Yes, that's right. Or rather, it was the machine. It's a little worse for wear at the moment. What extraordinary lengths Professor Harebrained went to in order to obtain the research grant. No, the professor was strict as well. He didn't know anything about it. Yes, of course. It is amazing though, isn't it? The scale of the whole affair is so very British. You're right about that. You'd never see such a grand deception in Japan, that's for sure. Oh look, is that... Oh, Lord Van Zieks? For a moment I thought you wanted to go on a great Ferris wheel with me. That would have been fun. So I think we're more or less done here, aren't we? Shall we, Mr. Sato? Already? He is the Reaper, remember? We do well to keep our distance, I think. But we have permission to be up here, from the top. We're perfectly well allowed to investigate this machine, as long as we don't touch anything. From the top? Do you mean Lord Strongheart? Exactly. So we can stay here and stare at this wreckage for as long as we like. She could have been at the center of the explosion here, and it wouldn't have bent her steel will. Steel will. Steel will? Shall we talk to him first? Least approachable man in the world, winner, 10 years in a row. Ryunosuke, you see him in court every day. What are you talking? Not every day, but I see him in court, right? So there's nothing to worry about. I'm getting used to him, right? I'm his Nipponese friend, remember? Be strong, Mr. Naruhodo. Your country and your assistants stand firm behind you. Lord Van Zieks. I mean, I even visited him in his own office, and I didn't even bat an eye. What? Well, a beautiful weather we're having, isn't it? I thought I was making it quite clear that I didn't want to be disturbed. How did you make that clear? Apparently you Nipponese are unequipped to read the signs. Oh, I read them. So, what are you doing here? Entry to this area is prohibited. Ah, well, the thing is... Lord Chief Justice Strongheart granted us permission to investigate, on the condition that we didn't disturb anything. And yet you've managed to disturb me. Holy crap, he's right. Never mind, state your business then. Susato-san, wording. You could have said, on the condition that we didn't touch anything. That would have been fine. Come to think of it, there are quite a few things I'd like to ask Lord Van Zieks about. Not least of which is that awful case, even though it's nothing to do with this. Ask away, Mr. Naruhodo. You won't know unless you try. Enoch, let's first talk about Enoch Drebber and then the more sensitive stuff. Are the police trying to locate the engineer, Mr. Drebber, already? Surely that goes without saying. We are very keen to see him found as well. The trouble is, we don't have much to go on aside from the description of the man we heard in court earlier. Which, according to Professor Harebrained, was of a tall, thin gentleman who has straight white hair and wears a black monocle. So I was just wondering. I mean, I realize it's probably not possible, but... We'd very much appreciate any more clues you can give us. Wow, Susato-san really knows how to take the bull by the horns. Fine, why not? I have a photograph of the man here from an investigation 10 years ago. 10 years ago is a long time. Though it appears he already had that black monocle at the time. Black? What? Oh, no, nothing. I was just surprised that you shared that with us. We all need a man's testimony in court tomorrow, which means we have to do everything we possibly can to track him down in the short time available. So why wouldn't I show you the photograph? What is it about Lord Van Zieks? Sometimes I just can't work him out at all. The first thing that came to my mind when I heard white hair is Dr. Scythe, the coroner. She also had long white hair. And whatever this is, she had it too, right? They must be related. Or it's the same person. This is Courtney Scythe. So, Clint. Was the name of your older brother, I understand, Lord Van Zieks? You Nipponese, I always have to be on guard whenever you're around. So you've been investigating me, have you? Oh, no, it's not like that. Well, right, it is a bit like that. My older brother was also a prosecutor. He was the pride of the Van Zieks family. But tragically, a vicious killer took him from us. The professor, you mean? Is something funny? That's the extent of what you've discovered, is it? I shouldn't be surprised. Sorry, there's more to it then. Lackluster work is very much your trademark, isn't it? You're too kind. Are you going to tar all Nipponese with the same brush next? So tell me, what's your interest in that historic incident? As it happens, Lord Van Zieks, there's a rather curious case that's come to our attention. Are you aware of the Madame Tuspel's Museum of Waxwork by any chance? I am, naturally. I believe that since last month I feature in one of the displays there, for public scorn. Wow, isn't that an honor? Of course, the infamous Republic Bailey would have to be exhibited, wouldn't he? I just hope you are not exhibited in the serial killer hall. That would be something. Well, a particular waxwork has been stolen from the place and held for ransom. A particular waxwork? Wait, you mean... Yes, it's the professor. Mr. Sholmes is investigating the case as we speak. I was unaware of that. He's turned as white as a sheet. Why though? Does this have anything to do with him? Oh! Huh? The apprentice. The file I requested for the trial tomorrow. Thank you. Are you alright? Who is this man, Mr. Naruhodo? Lord Van Zieks' apprentice, apparently. So I'm not the only one. Sato-san can see it too. See what? See what? This can't be Kazuma, can it? Don't tell me this is Kazuma. This is not Kazuma, game. Lord Van Zieks, maybe speak with your apprentice for a moment? With him? Why? Kazuma-sama? Kazuma? I don't believe it. Is it the same voice? Your posture, your presence. It can only be. It's you, isn't it, Kazuma-sama? I felt something strange the very first time I encountered this cloaked figure. As if I knew him somehow. Can it really be you, Kazuma? And he's gone. Wait! Too late. What's going on here? What is your interest in my apprentice exactly? You act as if you know the man or something. Well, since when has he been in your care? I don't recall you having an apprentice before I left Britain 6 months ago. Lord Strongheart introduced him to me about 3 months ago now, with instructions to mentor him as a prosecutor. But he didn't tell you why, did he? The man appears to be suffering from amnesia. He's forgotten every last detail about himself. He has amnesia? Tomorrow he will appear in court at my side. What? He is to serve as my judicial assistant on Lord Strongheart's orders. He'll be in court with us? Now then, unless I'm much mistaken, I believe this conversation has run its course. Wait, don't you know our connection? Oh, yes, thank you. I definitely saw a reaction there. When Sato-san called out like that, it really seemed to hit a nerve. When she called out Kazuma-sama. Oh god, what? Can it really be Kazuma-sama? But he's dead, what? How can this happen? Okay, I think that's everything here. Maybe we should move to Madame Tuspel's to ask Sholmes for assistance. Oh my, no wonder it's called the House of Horrors. I'd like to turn on my heels and go straight home via the confectionery. Being scared makes you crave sweets? I can understand that. I was looking forward to a reunion after 6 months away, but there's no sign of Mr. Sholmes anywhere. That's strange. He should be investigating the abduction of the waxwork. Oh well, I suppose we just have to come back again later. Okay, or is he here somewhere? No, he's not here. Okay. Not here either. Now that Sato is with us, we can... Hey, can we peek behind that thing? Curtain? Ah yes, the heavy curtains in the middle of the House of Horrors. Whatever's on the other side of them, you just know it's going to be terrifying, don't you? The sign says it's the Madame Tuspel's special exhibit. It seems you have to pay extra to go inside. I know, can you believe that? Pay more money, as if we haven't been scared enough already. It's not my doing, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't shout at me. I'm sorry. That old policeman isn't here now, obviously. I still can't believe he just happened to be on the jury, though. I'd understood that London has a population of 6 million people, and yet... You do seem to run into the same people disproportionately often, don't you? Yeah, it's called the devs wanted to save money. Okay. We still need to do something at the experimentation stage. We can visit the prison. Yeah, we haven't been to the prison. Oh my goodness. Okay. What's he doing? Oh my, the whole wall of the cell is covered in mathematical equations. There's some physics. Well, I mean, without understanding what exactly the symbols mean, there's no point in interpreting this. And he's still writing more now. Professor, sorry to interrupt. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, and who is this young lady? My name is Satomi Kotoba. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. It's a pleasure to meet you, Professor. Oh, if only I'd met a refined young woman like you sooner! None of this would have happened. What do you mean? No, that's not logical. That makes no sense at all. Exactly, it doesn't. Oh dear, I'm sorry if my presence here upsets you. I owe you an apology too, Professor. I didn't manage to deliver what I promised you I would in court this morning. Oh no. The whole miserable affair, it all happened because I've been such a complete and utter clot. Professor Hairbrain, what have you been working on in your cell? Oh, haha, you mean that? Oh dear, how embarrassing. I was suddenly struck by an idea, you see, and I simply had to write it down. The wall was all I had to hand. Oh, is it some new hypothesis? Something to surpass super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, maybe? Oh, no, actually, this is my autobiography. What? Your autobiography? I was the Diddle and Fiddle by Albert Hairbrain. I found I can represent my odd fortunes with the odd numbers in an ambitious set of simultaneous equations. Really? I'm going to have to pay back all the loans I took for the kinesis machine, you see? So it's going to be a new serial publication from next month, part 1, an odd birth, an odd upbringing. Okay, that's how you want to make money then? You can't beat the man's optimism, that's for sure. I see. Well, for now, would you mind if we talked a little more about the case? Oh yes, of course! I've been working through the numbers. I was diddled, I was fiddled by the pair of by Asman and by that aloof engineer Drabber. We're not going to have to sit through an explanation of all these equations, are we? Everything I believed in has been turned on its head. My research, Mr. Asman, the kinesis machine, my hypothesis even. I'm sorry it's come to this. There was really no other way. No, it's not your fault. I wanted to protect my work, but in the end, there was nothing worth protecting. It was never my intention to deceive anyone. I didn't want to trick the public. No, of course you didn't. But in court this morning, I realized something. Oh? if you've done something wrong without knowing it. You've still done something wrong. Logically, it makes no difference if you were aware of it or not. Ignorance is a poor excuse. The blame still lies with me. Oh, Professor. You believed in me this morning, you know? Baroque did. You believed in my hypothesis. Well, I think that was just a necessary factor in a prosecution establishing its case. No, Baroque wouldn't do something like that. I'm sure he genuinely believed it. I'm sure he was just establishing the case. Did he? I think I understand now. Why it was that he decided to take on the prosecution in my trial, I mean. Huh? After the terrible accident happened, nobody would believe in my hypothesis anymore. Not the police, not the prosecution service, and not any lawyers even. I feel like I dealt some kind of finishing blow there. So if any other prosecutor had taken the case, if it was anyone other than Baroque, I'm sure the prosecution would have declared my hypothesis a complete and utter nonsense. And in that case, you would have been declared a fraud yourself, Professor. Exactly, which would have been a fate worse than death for me. Oh, okay. But Baroque insisted that I was a proper man of science from start to finish. You think that's why he... I know him very well indeed. He's an extremely kind-hearted soul. Well, people change. But that extremely kind-hearted soul spent all morning trying to paint you as a murderer, didn't he? Well, admittedly, that part of the analysis appears to have some flaws in it. Yeah, your hypothesis is very flawed. And what about the whole Reaper side of things? How does that fit in with the kind-hearted soul idea? I mean, we're not sure that Baroque is indeed the Reaper, right? Do you think he set out to trick me from the very start? I'm sorry to say, that does seem likely, yes. When I first met him, he introduced himself as a wealthy financier. He looked over the paper I'd written and said my work would benefit all humanity and must be pursued. He was so enthused, he was so emphatic. But in reality, he was the mastermind of some vast criminal network, it seems. I still can't believe it. As the machine was essentially a set decoration for some stage magic, it probably didn't require a large amount of investment, actually. But the scale of it wasn't just some small trick, it was a very elaborate feat of deception. All your scientists are full of hope about their burgeoning ideas, full of zeal. But none of us have any money. We want to do research, but we can't afford it. Many of us take on barely legal part-time work to try to earn just a few measly pennies to carry on. To go through all of that, only to be taken for a complete fool. It's too rotten to believe. It is, I agree. And that's why we have to find those responsible and bring them to justice. Mr. Asman is no more, of course, which leaves only the engineer. Mr. Enoch Draper. Is he an engineer or a magician or a swindler? It was about a year ago when Mr. Asman first brought Draper to meet me at my laboratory. Since then, I've met him many times to discuss details about a kinesis machine, but at no point did you have any inkling that he was just an illusionist? Oh, he definitely wasn't just an illusionist. What do you mean? He was a wealth of deep scientific knowledge. There's no question that a man's a genuine scientist. It's instantly apparent in conversation. I see. But a wretched man deceived you, Professor. It's unforgivable. We must do everything we can to find him and bring him to justice. Are there no more clues you can give us as to his whereabouts? I mean, deceiving someone like that doesn't scream scientist to me, even though he may have scientific knowledge, but that's just not a scientific conduct right there. I'm sorry, we only ever discussed the kinesis machine, nothing else. Although, just once. I did visit his workshop. What workshop? Where is it? At Robber's enormous fabrication laboratory where he constructed my great machine. Why did you mention this before?